The Elimination Chamber is in Perth, Australia, and it is in just a few days. And it's time for me to give my official predictions. So, first up is the Judgment Day of Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus the New Catch Republic, I'm pretty sure they're called, which is Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And it's for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. And the Judgment Day are the champions. Now, the thing about this match is, the Judgment Day don't. Sorry, not the Judgment Day. The New Catch Republic, like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, I don't really see them as stars. Like I get that they want to make them stars, but I don't see them as stars. I don't see them, as stars. So I think this match could be monumental to maybe give them star power, show how good of wrestlers they are in the ring, and maybe this match can show everyone that they are tag title contenders. But I think the WWE wants to have the Judgment Day go strong into Mania because the Judgment Day is an already established faction, as this new Catch Republic is this new thing, and some people will be like me and not see a lot of star power in them. Not a lot of star power and not a lot of I just don't see a star in them. It's yeah. I don't really see a star in them. So I think that I go with the easy answer, the Judgment Day, but who knows? Maybe this can be the match when the New Catch Republic becomes this big team. Maybe not win the tag team championships, but give a good showing. And I think that should happen. They're going to give a good showing, show that they are tag title contenders, but the Judgment Day will do their shenanigans. I don't know what, because R-Truth is the most unpredictable man on the roster. Who writes his stuff? A hot tag in the Royal Rumble. It just he has very creative spots. So I don't even know what's gonna happen because I can guarantee you that I won't predict it because they have the most creative spots with him. But I do think R-Truth will have something to do with the match. But yes, I think the WWE wants the Judgment Day to hold the titles going into Mania. And it is time for the next match, as it is the Women's Elimination Chamber match between Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, this is a very star-studded Elimination Chamber, and it's awesome. The women deserve it, and they had a great Royal Rumble match, better than the men's. So I think they can do some good with this Elimination Chamber. You will have some of the biggest stars in the industry in this match. And that does, now thinking about it, that does make a little, you know, because you had to have 5 of those 6 people get pinned. So, other than Raquel, all of them are protected stars that they want to put them as big caliber stars. So maybe you can have a spot with where Jade Cargill screws Bianca and not have Bianca get just normally pinned. Have Bianca actually get distracted by Jade Cargill, and maybe Jade Cargill did what Logan Paul did at last year's Elimination Chamber, where he attacked Rollins. Maybe she does something like that. And I think that you can eliminate Bianca that way, and that sets up for a match. Or even some people are saying Bianca versus Tiffany Stratton. This would be another good match. And there's just so many matches with Bianca that I think they can do either of those matches, and it will still be a banger. We also have Becky Lynch, the heavy favorite. And this match is so big. It's has basically all stars, and I think I'm just gonna go with the obvious option, which is Becky Lynch, because they're building it up as Becky is the star. She's the one who has never been in an Elimination Chamber before this, and she will prove herself by winning the Elimination Chamber and facing Rhea at WrestleMania. I think this is the most um like reasonable answer because that's what the WWE have been teasing with the segments at some Raws, the WrestleMania 40 kickoff press conference. They've been teasing this a lot, so I think they're gonna go with not Bianca, sorry, Becky Lynch. Except maybe there can be a surprise, but I think Becky's the obvious choice. Next up is the men's Elimination Chamber match, which is Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Bobby Lashley versus Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. And I think this is yet again a very star-studded match. Now, some of these guys like Logan Paul, they're not going to win, but they will put on a good show. Also, another thing, I think one thing I predict is if they are going to set up the match, you have it here where LA Knight and Logan Paul do something. Maybe LA Knight pins Logan Paul and challenges, and basically LA Knight comes out on Raw or SmackDown, whatever, and basically says, I pinned Logan Paul, so I want him at WrestleMania. That sets up for that title match. Or you could just have a spot, but I think they're gonna do this match to have Logan Paul versus LA Knight set up for the United States Championship, which is held by Logan Paul currently. And this is just like, other than that, I'm kind of I don't know. I mean, like, I know Kevin Owens and Bobby Lashley aren't gonna win, but Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton are two people that definitely could pull something off. As I've heard, this is a very big match as you have one current champion, Logan Paul is the United States champion, and you have four former world champions. The only one that isn't one is LA Knight. But Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Kevin Owens are all former world champions. So this is a very big star match, like the women's. I think they did a great job of it this year. And I'm just going to have to go safe again by picking Drew McIntyre. He's the most, reasonable answer, like Becky, because they've teased it. And I don't think that Randy Orton would win because he's a face. And Drew McIntyre can edge towards heel. But there is one thing that could happen. What happens if, going on to the next segment, but I'm going to go back to the men's elimination chamber soon. There's a Grayson Waller effect where the Grayson Waller has the guests of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Now, what happens if you have Damian Priest cash in on Seth Rollins during the press conference of Grayson Waller's show, whatever it is, I don't know. Anyway, what happens if you have that? Because I know some people say Seth Rollins isn't medically clear, but when has that ever stopped anyone? Dolph Ziggler did it to Alberto Del Rio, so it never really has stopped anyone, that rule. So I think this could be a Now, I don't know if this is going to happen, but who knows? Maybe WWE pull a curveball and have Damian Priest cash in and win the titles. And if Damian Priest cashes in, what happens if you have Randy Orton win the Elimination Chamber and then Seth wants his title back? So at WrestleMania, you have a triple threat between Randy Orton, Seth, and Damian Priest. Now that's a little far fetched, but who knows? WWE has done crazier stuff. So maybe, but I think if I'm just going regularly, if that does happen, please credit me. But if it doesn't, I'll totally understand it. And um, if so, I that doesn't happen. I think Drew McIntyre will win and face Seth at Mania. Now I'll go to the talk show with Grayson Waller hosting Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I think this is where Cody Rhodes accepts Rollins' offer to be Cody Rhodes' shield. And they become, an alliance. They have an alliance against the bloodline. But I think The Rock comes out. Because it's one thing to just have Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins say, yeah, we're partners. But then you don't think that's all they're gonna do with this big story? I think then they have The Rock and Roman come out, and then you have this face-off between them, potentially setting up for a WrestleMania match, a tag team match. Now I know a lot of people are saying this tag team match, but credit to Jay Stu, I did hear one thing that I thought could put this match in jeopardy. The only person in that match between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus The Rock and Roman Reigns, Cody is the only person who has worked back to back nights in the last 80 days, because Rollins will have to work that night one, and then on night two, he's going to have to defend his world championship. Same with Roman, and Cody is going to be facing Roman. So, other than The Rock, all of those guys have to do back to back duty. And this could put potentially either Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, or Cody Rhodes, or even The Rock at a chance of injury. Because I think Cody Rhodes, actually, no, I'm going to go back on that. I don't think Cody Rhodes has a chance of injury because he's done this. He's probably he's probably had a match on SmackDown, then the next night had one at a house show, But in the last 80 days, Rollins has been injured, so he couldn't have done that. And you don't want to risk a further tear of Rollins' MCL. You don't want Roman, your main guy, to hurt himself. And The Rock, he's your main attraction. So maybe the match gets set up, but maybe you don't want to risk injury and you don't have this match. Because other than The Rock, all of those guys will have to work back to back Mania duty. With Roman versus The Rock happening on night two's main event, and Seth, if the match happens, Seth versus Drew, or no, not even Drew, Seth versus the winner of the Elimination Chamber will be on night two. And the tag team match will be on night one. So, I'm going to predict, I don't know. I'm going to say they're going to do the tag team match, but who knows? Maybe like last point I made. Maybe if it happens, you can say that I had said something about it, but they're probably just going to stick with what's on the WrestleMania trailer teaser thing. And I think they're going to have the WrestleMania match confirmed, or at least it teased even farther between The Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. And finally, you have Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. And I think you have Rhea win. Because I know Nia Jax is this big star and everything, but Rhea is just such a strong champion, and I think you have her be the champ going into Mania. Also, Australia doesn't get to host the show much. They only get to host one, every, like, I don't even know if Perth has ever actually hosted a WWE event. I don't know. But I can tell you it's been a long time. So, in their long awaited return to Perth, Australia, they're not going to have the girl from Perth, Australia, Rhea Ripley, lose her title match. Rhea Ripley is going to retain. You don't have the hometown girl lose her title match in the hometown that doesn't get visited much, you know? So I think Rhea retains. But I think this could be a good match and probably the main event, as Rhea is from Perth and the crowd will be heavily behind her. So yeah, Rhea wins. And that is my full predictions of the Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. Hope you enjoyed. And hey, let's see how many I get right on Sunday.